Welcome. It's your boy Carcino here, and a lot of people have been sending me this clip up by around the association. He had clipped up this video and made it, and a lot of people kept sending me this and wanted me to respond to it, saying Unc has lost all his sponsorships. They finna shut down Nightcap. So, first of all, I want everybody to come in here. I had another video that I was getting ready to do, but since everyone keeps implying about this, I said, okay, well, let me address this and get this situated first. Then we'll move on to the other topics, if that makes sense to everybody. So we can get this one out of the way. So, the answer remains to be a question, as others would say. Everyone wants to know the answers to all of the situations that's going on with Shannon Sharpe. So we will get into that and address that. Thank you guys for asking. Thanks for you guys to signing up for the Patreon. We got on the first, we're going to hit y'all with some more. So just stay tuned. We got all the videos ready to go. So when the first hit, you gonna hear some more it that you ain't never heard. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. So, everyone has seen this format and layout everywhere, right? Now, Shannon Sharpe contract is up in August or the end of July with the Herd and with the Volume, which is owned by Colin Cowherd. Okay? And this is his network. He owns a lot of these shows. Well, he gets a percentage of them, even the ones Shannon Sharpe brought aboard. And they come with sponsorships. They come with all kind of deals. Shazam! So that's what it looks like when you're taking a look at the Colin Cowherd Volume. You see Club Shay Shay, you see Nightcap, right? You see Humble Baddies, which is a show that Shannon Sharpe brought in with Ocho Cinco, with Sherelle, Ocho's baby mother, and her 2 friends or whatever, Draymond Green. Now, Shannon Sharpe got Club 520 podcast. He brought that in and brought that to the Volume. So those 2 podcast shows he brought in, especially Jeff Teague's show, which I like Jeff Teague's show. To me, I think it's the better out of all the shows so far. Then, what's wrong with Wright? Nick Wright. You got Rory and Maul. They're aligned with Colin Cowherd now. The Richard Sherman podcast. Why that exists, I have no idea. Bubba Dub show. So as you can see, the top earner out of all of these shows is Nightcap and Club Shay Shay. That's why he has them as the top 2 next to his shows, which don't even compare to Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. They're the 2 earning podcast shows out that Colin Cowherd has signed. I repeat, the top earning podcast shows. Just because you got a podcast show doesn't mean it brings in a lot of money or even bringing in money. Some of them they're taking losses on. So right away, that's what he's faced with. Thank you. Hit the like button, sir. I appreciate it, though. I do. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. The live is still going, sir. If they knocked you off, please hit the like button, report to them, tell them what's going on, because they shouldn't have hit the live. Absolutely. He said the live was frozen for a little bit. Okay, well, I don't know what they're doing there, but on this side, everything seems to be working as intended. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button so that they can know that you guys are real and not bots, so they can see what's up and know what time it is. Richard Sherman podcast is not a top earning podcast show. I'm just saying, it's on there. It's not a top earning podcast show. Now, Shannon Sharpe, we all know what happened by now. So there's no need to go back over that. Like I said, when you come here, we cover new things. We don't want to keep talking about the same thing over and over again. In case you don't know, Shannon Sharpe was involved with some girl he met when she was 19. And almost 2 years of having an affair with this woman, some type of sexual relations with this woman. No matter what the sexual transgressions were, it has now brought us full circle to this. How you can lose everything you've earned in a weekend. Now, you guys brought this to my attention. So, okay, here we go. Now, Shannon Sharpe was saw on this the association video that you guys had sent me and said, hey, take a look at this, see what they got on the table. I said, all right, I'll check it out. And across the association shows that Shannon Sharpe, right here at this point, as you can see, at this point, the Boost Mobile logo was active. Boost Mobile was one of their sponsors. Boost Mobile was who they responded to and was one of the main contributors to the podcast show once they closed the deal with Boost Mobile. So that every time they go live, they do a promo for Boost Mobile, etc. But since all of this controversy happened, now you can see Shannon has removed that light up Boost Mobile ad that used to be right there. And Ocho Cinco used to have the Boost Mobile behind him as well. And then you could see now he has Corey Dillon's jersey covering the Boost Mobile logo behind him as they go live, as he was not supposed to have the Boost Mobile logo going on. So across the association brought that to the forefront, that Boost Mobile was gone. Well, Boost Mobile is only one ad. And what you're starting to see is a lot of distancing in the process. Now, I want to thank you guys for bringing that to my attention. Now I'm going to bring some things to attention that was not mentioned on this show. That is correct. Something that you probably haven't noticed or paid any attention to. But like you said, that's why you brought it to me. Casino knows a lot more than what the average bear does. And that was very noticeable that the Boost Mobile ads were gone. But you have to notice that you have to pay attention to everything, not just one thing. A lot of people pay attention to what they can see and not the things that they can't see. Now, what are you seeing here? Right? What do you see here? Every Colin Cowherd podcast show is sponsored by DraftKings. Every single one seemed to have DraftKings associated with it. So the volume has a contract partnership with DraftKings. Now, DraftKings can choose, like the Humble Baddies are not sponsored by them. But the Humble Baddies was brought in by Shannon Sharpe. They have yet to really have anything but the Shannon Sharpe logo. See the water imprint with the Shannon Sharpe with the glasses? That's his imprint to let you know those belong to Shannon Sharpe. So the Club 520 podcast Shannon Sharpe logo is on it. And you see it up there, the watermark rather. So you look at that watermark and then you see the V. The V means the volume. They're involved, right? Now, why is that watermark impression meaning something? Because it's letting the public know where they stand. Now, Nightcap is getting ready to come here to Chicago live to do a show. I don't know if he's Shannon Sharpe was doing like meet and greets. I don't know if he's going to be doing meet and greets now. I'm just saying, I don't know about now. Will he be doing meet and greets? Well, a lot of people will believe that they're being set up and all of these things are in negotiations. Now, Colin Cowherd probably couldn't afford Shannon Sharpe's asking price. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. When they were in partnerships and doing the business that they were doing, Shannon Sharpe went ahead to do certain things in conjunction that would mean different businesses approaches. Because 5 months ago, they didn't have Boost Mobile. I knew that for a fact. And it's only been about a month ago that they have removed themselves from the volume. Colin Cowherd's the volume. So before the controversy even hit, they were already positioning themselves off of the volume. But DraftKings was still with Club Shay Shay. Oh yeah, it don't stop. It don't stop. So only 2 months ago did all of this really change. Two months ago, their contract, I guess, with the volume expired, and they're in a free agency point. That was 2 months ago. And they didn't have Boost Mobile yet. Boost Mobile was a new deal. They had just gotten Boost Mobile. Now, I want you to see something. Remember I told you to focus on something? And I showed you the Shannon Sharpe watermarks. I want you to show you something. This is back 3 months ago. You can't see it really because of my watermark up there, my imprint. But right next to it, let me see if I smallen it up a little bit and maneuver. You should be able to see it just a little bit better. Okay. Well, I could turn my camera on. I don't know why it's off. But yeah, you can see me. We don't hide. Now, in that right corner, you see that water imprint mark that I told you about with Shannon Sharpe. He has his water imprint, his watermark on all his videos, right? Let me see if I make it smaller here. What actually happens? Then you could probably see it a little bit better. See that in the right corner? Right here. That's Shannon Sharpe's watermark, his imprint. Right here is that V, which means the volume. And right next to it is that D with the crown on it, which means DraftKings. So this telling you that all three of these are in conjunction. And this was 3 months ago. You see, DraftKings has also taken their sponsorship down from Club Shay Shay. And the volume already was gone before the controversy even came out. they were already gone for about, I say about a month before this hit. About a month and a half before this Shannon Sharpe news hit, the volume was already out. Because they're in renegotiation. So until right now they're just flying like on their own accord, but they still got to come back to the table. I'm not saying the volume had anything to do with this. To lower Shannon Sharpe's value. But what I will tell you is there's something fishy going on here. Right? So you see those watermarks in there. See, this is what tells you what's going on behind the scenes. Now, after those watermarks went in the direction that they did, everything started to change. Because before all of this controversy hit, when Stephen A. had his controversy going on, right? They got Boost Mobile. Then I tell you, just a month ago, you see, they got the Boost Mobile sign up there. They signed the deal with Boost Mobile, and they had just signed this deal a month ago. The volume, as you can see, I'm pointing it out to y'all live so y'all can see it. You see DraftKings is still there. You see Shannon Sharpe logo is still there. Where's that V? The V is gone. The volume is over. So until they renegotiate this contract, this is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So until you see all of this play out with the volume, this is exactly what it is right now. The volume is gone, and DraftKings and Shannon was going with Boost Mobile just a month ago. This was a month. They were talking about LeBron and Stephen A. That was a month ago. This controversy didn't hit. So it doesn't mean that the volume is done with Shannon Sharpe. They're in a negotiation, well, renegotiational period. Mm-hmm. I mean, this news ain't really been a week. That's the strange thing about it, is that it really just is like for the first time hitting like a week. Because they had DraftKings and everything about a week ago. So all this happened within the last 3-4 days. So when the Warriors played the Rockets and they got Jameson in there, now you see DraftKings is gone. The Boost Mobile is covered up in the background with the Corey Dillon. Shannon don't got anything in the background. He went to a whole nother room to do the recording because they just got the word they got to take everything down. And now you just see the Shannon Sharpe logo there. He said, I learned a valuable lesson. Different race, Same problems. Shouts out to Ozzy. Now, what you see is that Watermark is gone and that they're covering up the sponsorships. So now all the sponsorships don't want any advertisement right now on Club Shay Shay, which brings us full circle. Now that you know it's more than what they were just showing you with Boost Mobile, you see DraftKings as well. You see there's no other sponsorships right now dealing with Nightcap and Club Shay Shay right now. And you probably say, well, why is that? When it's still the highest rated show because of the controversy right now is so hot. Does it mean he's lost these sponsorships? No. Here's the thing. No. It doesn't mean he's lost them. Right now, it's on pause. And why it's on pause, the contract that they have with Boost Mobile, they want to let things blow over before they make a final decision. So a lot of you who kept saying Shannon's lost all the sponsorships, yes and no. It's on pause. Just like his ESPN contract, it's pending based on situations that might play out down the road. Man, if you go back and watch some of them Club Shay Shay interviews, a lot of people was telling Shannon Sharpe. Cheryl Underwood tried to tell him. Everybody was trying to tell Shannon Sharpe, like, Shannon, you got to stop. Shannon, you got to do this. Shannon, you got to do that. Cat Williams was trying to warn him. You'll lose it all in a weekend. He was like, in 2 weeks, he went from being King the Conqueror to the conquered. In 2 weeks. I'm like, if that don't wake you up about white women, nothing will. Hollywood been trying to tell you for years. Get out. Who you think they made Get Out for? Get out. It was like, wow, we got to get away from these crazy doggone white folks. Now, look at right now, you got a movie, Sinners. What is Sinners about? White people as vampires. Sunlight kills them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Tell me about it. No. A lot of us just have a problem with people being phony. So it doesn't mean that Shannon Sharpe is going to lose all his sponsorships. There's a chance that contract could be ended permanently. But right now, it's suspended until further notice. They're suspending their relationship. There's not, they want to see all this news die down before they come back to spending their money. But while this thing is pending and hasn't been settled, a lot of people believe Shannon is going to settle with this woman for like $20 million just to get her to go away. And don't have this thing play out in a court of law. See, Tony Busby is not what you would call a litigator. He's not somebody that argues a case. He's someone that gets people in a predicament to where it's better for them to settle. He's one of those guys. So for them, that's the case. Now, Chad Ochocinco, I feel bad for because he tied his ship to Shannon Sharpe. And when he tied his ship to Shannon, you know, it's there to the end, you know. It's Ocho and Shannon at the end of the day now. And now he's like, man, it's me and you, Unc. I've tied myself to your ship. And now it's pulling Ocho down with him. Now, I was told he apologized to Ocho and told him if he wanted to leave, he could. And said, man, I've always talked about professionalism and always being professional. And this is a shakedown, but I can't hold nobody back who career feel like it's finna go through there because of stuff that's going on with me and happening to me in my world. Now, the door is open. I won't have no feelings no other way, Ocho. If you want to go in and leave the show, leave Nightcap, I totally would understand. I wouldn't even hold it against you. And Chad was, man, I'm here till the wheels fall off. No, man, shoot, man, we gonna fight this together, man. You my road dog, man. It's bigger than the show. I'm right here with you, I ain't going nowhere. So once he said that, he knew Ocho was his boy and his dog for life. Now, what are people really upset about? They upset that Unc didn't really own up to the incident before like he did. It's been too many.
The audio heard for the entire world to hear. People count on Shannon, Shay Shay Media Club, Shay Shay Nightcap, ESPN, and I always try to be professional, even when I'm behind closed doors. I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act, but for to have the audio to be heard. My kids called them, I called my sister, but guys, this was not staged. Came in, approved.
So there have been so many incidents right now with Shannon Sharpe, and it's like he's making an apology video every week. Like every couple months, there's an apology video from Shannon Sharpe. Now, this is why I say these things come in waves and droves. And once you start to see it, then you start seeing the fallout by that. And we didn't see this unfold publicly until he did the thing on the court with John Morant.
I want to apologize for my behavior. Guys, I've preached for the last 6.5 years, responsibility and accountability. And I take full responsibility for what transpired. It does not matter what Dylan Brooks said or how many times he said it. Me being the responsible person, me having the platform that I have and having so many people look up to me, I was wrong. I should have lowered the temperature in the arena. Instead, I turned the temperature up and I let it get out of hand. And I want to apologize to a few people. First of all, I want to apologize to the Lakers organization, Jeannie Buss, the Buss family. I apologize for any harm or unwanted attention that I brought to your organization. I want to apologize to the fans that were in attendance and the fans that watched on television, because that's not what you paid for and that's not what you tuned in to watch. Shannon Sharpe should have been mentioned as someone that was at the game, not someone that let his emotions run high and get out of hand during the game. I want to apologize to the men. As you probably have heard or have seen Friday night at the Lakers game, I want to.
So a lot of apologies are coming. Why is he screaming? Because he's apologizing. See, I miss him and Skip. I know, I do too. But as you can see, that's how the show used to go. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to run. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he came in there after the DeMar Hamlin situation, right? And Shannon Sharpe didn't show up to do the show the next day with Skip in protest.
And he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back. Skip,
well, I thought
Skip, just let. I
didn't know you were going to bring up.
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly,
no, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Let's go, Jen. So right then and there, you knew it was a problem with those two. And it was escalated, highly escalated on the show. It wasn't even a show anymore. It had became a verbal yelling match at each other every day. And mainly because Shannon grew to where he was bigger than Skip. And when your co-host becomes bigger than the host, like 50 Cent, he goes by that book, Never Outshine the Master and all that stuff. But Shannon didn't view Skip as a master. When he first came there, he acted like, oh, it's your show, Skip. It's your show, Skip. I ain't trying to step on your toes. It's your show. Now it's Shake, Skip, and Shannon. Yeah. Yeah, Skip. Yeah, say Skip and Shannon now. So we're going to, yep. And because it says Skip and Shannon, did what I want. I want Shannon Sharpe sign right up there. Where it says Shannon Sharpe, I want to see Shannon Sharpe right there. I want to see Shannon right there. I want my own table, I want my own desk. I just got my new contract for all these millions. Yeah, Skip. Yeah, and I want my own coffee mug. Mm-hmm. Yep. And now I'm back. So they told Skip, like, let Shannon have what he wants. He's on fire. And he was like, look, we create a monster here. We keep giving him what he wants. All of a sudden, he wasn't the favorite person no more. Now he became the person they got to deal with. So you ever go to your job and they come with all that nonsense talking about, oh, well, we got to do this, we got to do that. They come with all this nonsense. But at the end of the day, they never come correct. Oh, no. Okay, that's something I don't need to ask. I'm like, somebody's blowing my phone up. Mm-hmm. No, they never have those intentions. So right now, Shannon Sharpe, all his ads are on pause. He hasn't lost them yet. Yeah, it's the possibility of losing them all. Now, if he was to solve and settle this thing behind closed doors, it will leak. This is when I knew it was a problem.
You care about winning Super Bowl. Quarterbacks are the most arrogant, the most arrogant people, and that play professional sports. You know that, and I know it. A little bit.
He'll be a free agent.
Yeah, you'll be a free agent. He's free.
Yeah.
They don't nobody want it. How you not want something that's free? You put candy out there, free candy, somebody grab a handful of it. I mean, free clothes, free chairs, somebody go come out and get one. Free Bibles, people will take one.
Yep.
Like a free agent, ain't nobody want it.
Okay.
How you not want something that's free? Football game.
Okay, so here's what I know. Last year with Tyreek Hill.
Right now!
Hey, stop it! It is my turn.
You going back to last year.
Time out. It is my turn. I gave you all of your phony baloney that you spewed all over the table. It is my turn. It is my turn. Asked.
But you picked them. You picked the Bengals.
I told you I'm not going to pick them anymore. Don't give me that baloney.
That's what you giving me, baloney. I'm not going to pick them. I don't want to jinx them.
What did I tell you? Wait. What did I predict before the year started? I said the Hall of Fame, but for 6 straight years on this show, you have tried to send Tom Brady home.
Now,
okay? Is it time for him to go home?
It's the now.
Is it time for him to go home? I need it on the record. I need it right now. No, we got to go bigger picture.
No, we don't.
You're saying
that's
he's
all.
awful.
Talk about this. See, that's what you always do. You always try to shift. Go big picture. Go to yesterday. Behind watching the Commanders, New York Giants, and it did what it needed to do. Now those 2 drives, and you were still behind. And yeah, come Skip. Don't do that now. You're being real petty, bro. Let me talk.
I haven't said a word.
I know you're doing nothing. Come on. That's childish. Your team lost. That is very childish. Let me talk.
Your opinion is childish.
Go ahead.
Go. And you're telling me Brady got outplayed? Baloney! It's the biggest bunch of bloating you've ever spewed. Matthew Stafford. Guess what Matthew Stafford had in the second half? It's my turn. Stop it. It is my turn because Matthew Stafford. Oh, that's really funny.
Yes!
Matthew
you still
Stafford.
lost, Skip. He lost.
You know what? How did he look yesterday? He gets an F?
No. Let me die. Because all you do is bring up those 11 games. All you do is go back and talk about when he was a rookie and won 7 games. I won't talk about what I want to talk about because I got the floor. Baker Mayfield is dead last in 2022 in QBR.
Blah, blah,
He's
blah.
dead last. I don't care. Blah. He's 57.8. He's 33rd in completion percentage. You will let me talk? Hold on.
Real good.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This guy, you talking about he did the shot of shots at LeBron's house. Why can't he win the finals without Steph, Clay, and Drake? If he's what you said he is, why can't he do that?
Well, he'll have a shot.
I want shot.
Coach, yeah.
They still giving out COVID shots. They got the second booster available now. So that's the only shot Kevin Durant's going to get.
I've had 5, so.
That's the only shot Kevin Durant's going to get. Throw talent. He yell and scream. You criticize Aaron Rodgers for doing the exact same thing.
I do. I do.
Criticize him.
Okay.
Criticize him.
It works.
It
works.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's won 7 Super Bowls. No, it's not. You say.
You make him my point.
You said they were dead. Now you're trying to say, well, I don't know. It's about the
okay, on the scale of 1 to 10.
Baloney, it's about the division.
On the scale of 1 to 10.
Baloney.
How much do you trust the Cowboys?
Okay. I'm a 9. Because I got them going 12 and 5. I like this quarterback.
Because you hadn't answered the question about Cooper Rush yet.
What are you talking about?
Because that's what you do.
If you stay on point on questions.
You never stay on point.
Okay. I'm about to stay on point.
You're not going to get on point until I'm done talking.
Okay, all right.
That's right.
Spew all your hate.
I'm going to spew it
your
all.
Baker hate. Spew it. Looks sillier than any man in the history of the world has made you look.
If he make me look silly now.
Six straight years.
If he looking silly now.
I need it. I need you to tell me.
I said he was terrible. I said he was terrible yesterday. He was terrible for the first 6 weeks.
Is he washed?
You see it.
Is it time to go home?
It's been that time.
I think it's my turn.
I
I let you spew all your baloney. So I didn't say a freaking word. It's not. Okay, here we go. It is my turn.
He's still lost. Take the rest of the show.
Okay.
He's still lost.
So
17.8, because all you talk about, you're uncertain about Justin Herbert, but you get on the floor for this clown. He's a bum, he's trash, and you know it. And every time you bring him up, I'm going to let the world know exactly what he is.
Oh, he's a 4 Twitter followers.
Go ahead.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not going to go. Because you're doing it, I'm trying to talk to you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. It is my turn now. And here's what really happened last night.
He talked about he wanted to get Skip. He chose to team up with the flakiest guy, Kyrie flaking and Grandma's biscuits. He chose to team up with him. You talk about culture, and I'm going to continue to go. He's 187.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn.
Okay.
He's Phil Football Focus got it graded 37%.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, go ahead.
Blah, blah, blah. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you. Finally. All right.
Blah, blah, blah. What you do. Every time I call something in the question, I'm jealous.
No.
I did what I did.
never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame. I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Yeah, what does that got to do what you do? No,
I'm
you
going to keep it on the game.
Every time I'm going to interrupt you like you did me. Go ahead.
All right, well, let's go to the next topic.
Okay, then. Let's go.
All right.
Because you ain't going to do it. You will let me talk like I let you talk.
I let you talk for 8 freaking minutes.
All you do is go back to talk about 2016. You talk about the 11 games. You never talk about,
I'm trying to talk about yesterday. Do I get to talk about yesterday?
When I tried to talk about you, hold on. Woo. And every time I turn around, Bronco Country, let's ride. Bruh, the car broke down. You not riding, you walking. So how the hell you gonna talk about let's ride? Your car broke down. Either you out of gas or the car need repaired. But Russell Wilson's got to play better. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put your
shot.
glasses back on.
Can I finish? I see a water bottle. They're like, this. I'm like, man, with this free? Yes, you go to Costco. It's free. The sample. Be the sample. That joker was free. Ain't nobody want it.
Did Sam Darnold win a playoff game? I don't think he ever won a playoff game, did he?
How you not want?
Did Carson Wentz ever win a?
I'm trying to figure out how somebody.
Now, as you can see, what I've just pointed out to y'all is that problems were there. You knew that was finna blow up. It had been happening for a long time, especially the last 2 months of them working together. It was no talking, no debate. They just yelling at each other. And they about ready to fight. It's getting to that point. They couldn't stand each other during those last 2 months. No, if she'd have got around Shannon Sharpe, she'd been missing. Yes, hit the like button, good people. Because, see, you need to hear this. You needed to hear that so that most people don't know that was best for you to hear. Because now you have an understanding as to why the situation got so bad and how Shannon Sharpe started having these blow-ups in these scenes, because that's what led to the Memphis Grizzlies situation. Shannon Sharpe was blowing up because he mad he couldn't yell at Skip. He couldn't get, him and Skip having problems, and he'll go take it out on the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, and all them like he riding for LeBron, but he really was just mad, period. Yes, definitely hit the like button, y'all. We appreciate it. There's so many different people in the game right now. They just don't understand like what it actually takes to get in these scenarios and get out of them the way that they're supposed to. Like, be professional. This is a job. Some people take it a little seriously. You have to set your boundaries and say, okay, look, man, we can do this show, but this is how it's going to have to be. I can't just do something, for the money. There's so much going on, man, and it's not understanding. Like, I'm not understanding. No. I never felt like that because, yes, he is Black Hole. So this was the start of Shannon imploding, keeping everything bottled up and then exploding somewhere else. Shannon Sharpe is a human being like any other person. They get emotional. He gets emotional, and even as professional as he is, Shannon has blown up at the nightcap crew because they did something wrong. Shannon has blown up before, but when black people blow up, we angry. Angry black man isn't good for business. White people get upset. They love it. Look at the passion. So passion and anger, which one is it? If a quarterback gets fired up and starts, getting hype on the sideline, he's passionate. A wide receiver, running back does it, he's arrogant. He wants all the attention. He's a distraction to the team. So you just have to look at the narratives of what's the difference. Oh, that quarterback is white and that player is white, that person's black. So this narrative has always been about us, like we have to be subdued and we have to be a certain way because they always perceive us in a different format. You look at Jonathan Majors, right? Jonathan Majors, big black guy now. He got buffed up. He played Creed 3. He was playing a bodybuilder, Killian Maddox. So he put on all this mass, right? So he's added all this muscle. So while he's adding all this muscle, they look at him now as he was one of the leading men in Hollywood, up to $20 million for film. It's an asking price. And in 2 weeks, everything's gone. He's losing the Marvel, King the Conqueror, all of the rights, everything gone. He was supposed to be in Sinners. He was supposed to be the brother. When Ryan Coogler was making this with Michael B. Jordan, he wanted to bring in Jonathan Majors to play, but what happened with all his incidents, they couldn't bring Jonathan Majors in, so he ended up playing 2 roles. Well, the perceptions is anomalies that we deal with in everyday walks of life because we don't know any better. This is all we was taught. Because people spend trillions of dollars to make us a certain way. There's money put into keeping us to destroy ourselves. How do you think in the ghetto, in the hoods, they have no jobs, but they can get access to AR-15s, AK-47s, all of these weapons? Where would they get these weapons from? How do they get these drum kicks and all of these things, all these weapons on the streets with all of the ammunitions, the rounds, like AR rounds and all this? Where would they have the wherewithal to get the access to get these kind of weapons and unregistered? Where would they have access to get this? They can't even get a job, but they can get access to all of this material. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. Not one of us own a poppy field. So how is being provided for them to destroy themselves? Drugs was meant to destroy themselves. So when you start looking at all of these situations where there's no jobs, there's no recreation, there's nothing, but only for them to do is to go outside and get in trouble. You see somebody who's not from your neighborhood, you want to take them out. They're the ops just because they're from another neighborhood who've never done anything to you. They're not holding you back from your education. They don't have a school in your district. They've closed all your schools down. So the school is not even close to your district. Then they're overcrowding the classrooms, sticking everybody, packing them like sardines into a class. The teachers can't control what's going on. People fighting in the classrooms. It becomes like a zoo. And most of these kids, they just pass them along because they don't want to deal with them. So they just keep passing them just to get them out of the school system completely. Oh, I know one school that did that. One student graduated from 2 high schools, got 2 diplomas from 2 high schools. He had got kicked out of one school, and they had to let him back in because of the black rate here in suburbia. They didn't want to let. He was the only gangster in the school, and they was like they had to let him, graduate. He would have all his girlfriends doing his homework, everything. He couldn't. It was sad. He could not really read and write, and I never knew that. And I was friends. And I didn't know he couldn't read and write because he could talk, I'm like, he could talk. He could like say, hey, that's Tupac. That's Biggie. Like he knows everything else. Give me the milk. He gonna grab the milk. But if you put a pen in his hand and say, hey, just write this letter. Tell her I'll be back tomorrow. All right. I didn't know that until I was in Hawaii and I sent the postcard back to everybody, and it got back to him and their family, and they didn't understand. Well, he didn't understand it. He had to have his girlfriend read it to him. Now, I know my handwriting bad, but I'm like, I printed that. Yes, the Lakers will win big tonight. Big. It won't even be a game. No, well, people got to make a decision. Like, what is it that you really want out of society, life, the whole nine? People get mad all the time. Christian Bale got mad on the movie set, snapped on everybody at the movie set. They don't make a big deal out of that. It didn't hurt his career. They didn't say, oh, angry Christian Bale. That's all I'm saying is, when is it going to be fair? We got to get back to it being fair. Black people just want everything. Want everything. What everything do we have? White people they deal in fear. Unfortunately, and it's not their fault. That's how everything is generated, through fear. They want them to fear black people taking over. They want you to fear Mexicans is taking over. They want you to fear you're going to lose everything. He said, you remember when Kelsey shoves Andy Reid during the Super Bowl? That was sports media would have tried to get him kicked out of the NFL. Exactly. Nothing's being talked about it no more. When Kelsey pushed Andy Reid, he was just being passionate. If Antonio Brown would have did it, oh, he's a head case. That's that CTE. Right? Nothing in this world is fair or equal. That's true. I mean, tell them about it. Why they only are so concerned about the situation when it goes left. Like nobody knew about the 19-year-old girl in Shannon Sharpe. She's 22 now, but he's 56. And she's 22. Like he ain't the only one that's ever did that. Hell, we talked about Russell Simmons' daughter and that doggone dude who was like 65, talking about he's a family friend. You're a family friend giving your daughter away to this man for money? That's crazy. And he got so much bad news and bad publicity from it, he had to break everything off. He was like, I don't want to do this no more. I look bad now. My business look bad. Shannon is too old for a booty call. Well, he don't feel that way. He feel like there's still some left in the tank. I'm just mad Shannon put himself in this situation, that he allowed this situation to happen. His grandma warned him. He just didn't listen. Now, nobody believes the situation of what she's saying. Like, it's like, come on, nobody believes that. But everything else that's been put into reality, no, we not buying it. Well, we'll see how when it all plays out, how is it gonna fall when all the chips, fall at the wayside? How is it gonna all play out? Because at the end of the day, that's what it really is, right? At the end of the day, that's what it truly is. So we got to see how it plays out. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. Oh, me hitting the bartenders? No, but see, that's different. I'm not wifing up no bartenders. I'm not out here telling them, yeah, come on over here. See, I know how to hit it and quit it and get rid of them. And I ain't got to deal with them no more. I remember everybody was super chatting me to get a room. Like, hey, you get a room, C-No. Yeah, in the super chat. Take it to a room. Go ahead, C-No. Man, that used to be my spot. My twerking bartender. I think she's dead, actually. That chick I used to hit, I think she's dead. I think they actually came in and took her out. You said rest in peace to the twerking bartender. Yeah, I think she got killed, man, on the low end of Chicago, actually. Because I asked people about her and they was like, nah, I don't know who she is. Now, these are people I know who she is. Like, I know that they were right there when I was talking to her. And I was like, whatever happened to this girl? And they go, I don't know. I don't know who she is. I'm like, and I'm saying to myself, you do know who this person is. And then I was like, oh, okay. She got killed. She got killed because I remember she was like hiding out because it was a shootout over there where she was at. And some people ended up dead and she was on the run. Like she was out of there. Like I gotta get out of there. I ain't going back over there. So either she brought some dudes around and they got into an incident, but hey, it's crazy. So yeah, I think she gone, bro. So I had fun, you know. I'm gonna miss my twerking bartender. No, I didn't kill her. There's no. It's gonna be C-No is the leading suspect in the disappearance of the twerking bartender. I'd be like in courtroom, like she twerked at the bar. That was it, John. Were you upset that she rejected your advances? I mean, my advances. What were those? Shoot, I don't even remember her name fully. It's half of these chicks in my phone. I don't even know they like. Where do I know them from? There's so many girls that gave me their number, everything, and I'm like, who is this? I got to start cleaning my phone out for real. Like, I don't know them. They got to go. Dude, I got like 500, 600, probably more phone numbers of people I just don't know. You know how to be a private investigator. Yeah, well, for me, it comes naturally. I just know how to look for other things. I just have always had a gift to see more than beyond what's out there. Like some people, if you put something like a firework go off, boom, and everybody's looking at the firework, and they just, I'm somebody that's not even paying attention to it. Most people can't do that. They can't block it out. They can't, their brains don't work that way. I had to learn that I was different early on. Kindergarten, first grade, I didn't know like I was different from everybody else. Like if I wasn't somebody in the hood, I would have been put in one of those magnet schools or whatever that they do to people now. But back in my day, they didn't do that. So I was just sitting in there with, yeah, I'm sitting there with a bunch of people I'm smarter than. I'm just like hanging out with them. You know, I'm basically dumbing myself down just to fit in with them. But I'm light years ahead of them. And I'm just like, wow, this is like second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. I'm light years ahead of these people. Light years. And I'm basically dumbing myself down to their level just to fit in. No, I'm not perfect in no way. I'm just saying that's just how I've always moved, navigated, if you want to say, in other words, right? That's how I navigated through time space continuums. Yeah, they tried to do that in third grade. They decided to put me, my second grade teacher, she couldn't stand me. She wanted to put me in a lower class for third grade. And they were like, what is this guy doing here? They moved me right to the class I was supposed to be in. Like, it's like I was in that other class for probably a week. And when the school year started, and they were like, they've misclassed you completely. Like with these people that you're in the class with here, yeah, these people don't have a chance. They didn't have a chance. But my second grade teacher, she couldn't stand us. I'm like, I don't even know why she was a teacher. She did not like teaching. She had all kind of problems, and she just hated us. And I'm like, she hate this class. She hate everything. Man. Well, we taught her a lesson. We put thumbtacks in her chair. See, I went to school where they could slap you in the face. Do I know you? You got to send me some pictures so I can know it's you. Oh, this one girl used to send me. Woo, my goodness. Now all the pictures I got of her. Jesus Christ, she was something else. She's like, I can't stand Shay Shay. Why, Tasha? What'd he do? He said it turned into an ECW match. Man, people couldn't stand that teacher. Dude, she had like a she had a thumbnail, like thumbnails in her chair from like every student. Like it was about like 12 in the chair for her. Boy, that's what she got. Man, she gonna blame me for going in the women's bathroom and I didn't do it. Some girl lied. She's like, "Were you in the women's bathroom?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "You're a liar." And slapped me, boy. I was so damn mad. I'm like, my own parents don't do that. She was in trouble. And I said, "Ooh." My anger level was so high. I was like, "Oh, this teacher's finna get it." And sure enough, she was writing on the backboard. I went up there. I had my thumbtacks. Everybody had this thumbtacks. I didn't even have to. I was just putting my thumbtack next with the other 8 that was in her chair. And then she was writing on the board for so long, I didn't know. Like when she sat down, I had missed it. I missed the payoff. I was talking to somebody, and somebody elbowed me like, she's crying. He's like, "What?" So the class got quiet. And then she's just sitting there, and a tear coming down her cheek. I'm just like, "Oh, it worked." I missed it. Well, that's gonna teach her. Keep your hands to yourself. You mess with me, I'm gonna get you. You started this party. You started this party. She started it. I had to finish it. There is no Shaq involvement in this situation. I talked about it sparingly, but Shaq even got in on it. No, Shaq was trying to get information on Shannon Sharpe to expose him. And he didn't even get the information about the 19-year-old girl. So that shows you how much Shaq knew. I'm like, that's just some lame NBA stuff. Matt Barnes, he's trying to get some money on your boy. So if anybody know anything, that's what I'll tell you. It's just lame people. Matt Barnes, they lame dudes. They played in the league and they hang around a bunch of dangerous people who didn't have any talent. So those guys, like, they got to impress them and they feel like they a boss. I've seen a lot of those guys. It's like, dude, you're a basketball player. Like Captain Jack. Jack think like he this gangster. I'm like, dude, it's not a flex that you went out there in the middle of the street doing what you doing. Like you highlighting a life that is tragic. People getting shot up, all kind of stuff, and you sitting there trying to use that to make you look tough. I'm checking in. And when the elevator don't go all the way to the top, you start realizing, like, man, maybe he just ain't bright. Maybe this is, what he is. Like, he just really screwed up in the head. So anyway, that's enough of this. If we learn anything new, we will bring it up to you. So let's just answer everybody questions about the sponsorship. All right. I'm out. Once again, thanking you